In the world of luxury watches, few brands command the level of admiration and recognition that Rolex does. With a history that goes back more than a century, Rolex has not only mastered the art of making watches, but it has also become a sign of status, quality, and style that lasts for a long time. So if you've ever wondered which iconic timepieces deserve a spot on your wrist and which might be better left behind, you're in for an exciting journey. Without further ado, here are some popular Rolex models that you might consider buying. Rolex Oyster Perpetual. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual is one of the coolest Rolex watches you can find today. It's special because it has a style that never gets old, it's made really well, and it's super high-tech. This watch shows how Rolex really cares about making things really good and coming up with new ideas. They use super good materials like strong metal and fancy gold to make this watch. That's why it can stay strong even if things get tough. The watch can also move by itself, which makes it really good at selling time. And guess what? It's also really good at staying dry and clean, even if it gets wet or dusty. This watch looks great for any event, whether it's a fancy party or just hanging out with friends. But it's kind of expensive because it's so well made and will last for a very, very long time. Ultimately, the decision of whether to acquire or skip the Rolex Oyster Perpetual depends on personal preferences and priorities. If you're not really into fancy watches or want something more modern and sporty, there are other watches you can check out instead of this one, which will be shown later on in this video. Rolex Datejust. The Rolex Datejust is like a superstar watch that many people around the world know about. It's a really good watch and lots of people love it. This watch is made so well and looks super nice. It's great for people who want a watch that looks good and works well too. Both guys and girls can wear it. The best part is that it comes in different sizes, materials, and colors, so you can choose the one you like best. And guess what? This watch can wind itself, so you don't need to put batteries in it or wind it by hand. That's really handy for people who don't want to do a lot of work to keep their watch going. But you should know that this watch is a bit expensive because it's so amazing. The cost can be different depending on which one you choose. Even though it costs a lot, it's really worth it because it's made so nicely and will work well for a long time. If you really like the design and want a watch that's awesome and works great, the Rolex Datejust is a watch you'll really enjoy for many, many years. Rolex Air King. The Rolex Air King is a watch that's both simple and fancy, and it looks really nice. It's been around for a very long time, like 70 years. This watch is special for people who like planes and flying. The inside of the Air King has something amazing called automatic movement that makes sure the time is always right. You can wear this watch for any event, whether it's a fancy one or just hanging out with friends. It's really strong because it's made from strong metals and has a special crystal that doesn't scratch easily. The cool thing is that the Air King is not as expensive as some other Rolex watches, but it still has the same great quality and beauty. It's like a door to the world of Rolex watches, especially for people who are starting to collect them. But there's more. This watch has a story. It's named after pilots from a long time ago, and it's like a special tribute to them. The Air King is not just a watch, it's a way to remember the past and the amazing things people did. So, if you like planes, history, and really nice watches, the Rolex Air King is something you'll really love. Rolex Daytona. The Rolex Daytona is a really fancy watch that shows you're special. It's known for being very elegant and important. People all around the world think it's one of the best watches ever. It's made from really good materials and won't get easily scratched on the dial. Lots of people who collect watches really like Daytona, and that's why it's worth a lot of money. But you should know that it might cost so much, so it might not be for everyone. Also, because so many people want it, sometimes you have to wait a long time to get one. Rolex Explorer. The Rolex Explorer is a super famous watch that adventurers and people who love watches really like. It's been loved for a long time. The reason it's so cool is that it's really strong and works really well, making it great for people who love to explore and find new things. This watch is made from a tough metal and has a special crystal on top that won't easily get scratched like other Rolex watches shown before. But what is so special about the Rolex Explorer model is that even if you go to really tough places, this watch won't break easily. It looks simple but really nice, so you can wear it with any kind of clothes. The best part is that you can read the time easily because it has bright dots on the black dial that glow in the dark. And guess what? It can even go underwater up to 100 meters, so you can wear it while swimming. Even though the Explorer is not the fanciest Rolex, it's still super useful and good looking. It's for people who want a watch that is strong, works well, and still looks really nice when they wear it. Rolex Submariner. The Submariner is like a timeless treasure in Rolex's collection. When you want a watch that can handle daily adventures and stay tough, the Submariner is your go-to choice. People often wonder whether they should choose the Submariner with a date or without it. But here's the exciting part. Both versions are fantastic. The Submariner is that super cool steel watch Rolex makes. It's made for folks who want a watch they can always count on. Guess what? The Submariner with a date costs around $8,800 and the one without the date is about $8,000. Yes, the prices have gone up a lot, but guess what else? Tons of people are still crazy about getting their hands on these watches. Whether you like the date or not, the Submariner is a total winner. Some people might ignore the version without the date, but you know what? I actually find its simple and classic style really awesome. But hey, it's totally up to what you personally like. And let's talk about the Submariner in steel or a mix of steel and gold. It's like having both cool looks and practicality in one watch. Now, imagine the steel and gold Submariner with a blue dial. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the deal. If you're thinking about getting one and making quick money by selling it, that might not work out. The blue dial Submariner is super popular, but its price hasn't skyrocketed yet. So, if you're planning to flip it for profit soon, you might not rake in a bunch of cash. As we close this chapter on our exploration of which Rolex models deserves a spot in your collection and which ones might not quite make it the cut, remember that the journey of finding the perfect timepiece is as unique as you are. Whether it's the timeless elegance of the Datejust, the adventurous spirit of the Explorer, or the beauty of the Air King, your choice should reflect your style, aspirations, and passions. Before leaving, remember to leave a like and subscribe to Luxury Focus if you want to stay ahead with all of the latest trends in the world of Rolex timepieces. See you next time!